A list of sensitive subject matter has been included in the episode description. It would be too generous to call what we see wash up on the shore of the Devil's Caldera a ship. It would, instead, be far more accurate to call it a line of wash tubs banded together with hemp rope and homemade adhesive, propelled by a dozen makeshift oars, and leaking profusely. But the kobolds who have arrived by this vessel insist on calling it a ship, and to argue the point would certainly result in you wasting the better part of your day, so a ship it is. Their leader, who styles herself the chairwoman of the Kobold Defense League, clambers out of the foremost washtub. She rakes salt spray from her matted fur, preens the fringes of her frock dress, and makes for a large rock that stands out over the beach. This is her moment. She will need to be sure each and every one of her fellow pilgrims hears what she has to say. Fellow believers! Regard yourselves in this moment with pride, for we have done it! A cheer erupts from the crowd of soggy kobolds. 2 score months ago, the Great Worm first made contact, blessing us with the knowledge of their existence and gracing us with the burden of their devilish predicament. Just as the prophecies foretold, the Great Worm would reveal themselves to be none other than the fabled thief, that aged and cunning lost to the mists of legend, and so we rejoiced in this discovery. Another cheer. Presently, this map arrived, fulfilling the final promise of our prophecy and revealing to us the earthly location of our Redeemer. But more than that, this map entreated us for aid, a holy call to defend the object of our goodly faith. So we lit out in 8 ships built to carry us safely across the shallow sea to this furthest of shores. This time, a hush befalls the crowd as they regard the 7 lines of washtubs lost to the cruel sea. The chairwoman unfolds her claws and looks aloft. We hold the memories of our fallen brethren and sisterin most dear. During our year-long voyage from our homeland to Glimmercliff, nearly 2,000 of our ranks gave their lives to heed the call of the Great Worm. Ripped on! We beg that you reward their sacrifice by blessing our crusade in your name, and that you preserve them in your boundless legend. Thanks be to you. These final words ring out in unison from the entire flock, contending with the steam whistle of a train. We pull back to see that one has arrived. It stands 3 stories tall, and its windows have been lined with velvet for the comfort and privacy of its many passengers. At their leisure, they disembark. The wealthy among them employ private porters to haul considerable luggage. The less fortunate opt for shared moose and cart to carry them over the cliffs to the cable cars which will take them gently into Basin City. All well rested for their landing upon that wild and wondrous city in the hill. In 2 hours' time, the train will begin its return journey, an overnight service back from whence it has just come. We see the conductor turn a display to reflect that origin. The kobold's homeland, Glimmercliff. Hello, one and all, and welcome to another episode of Unbalanced Encounters the Misfortunate 4, the only show that dares to ask, what if the soot sprites from Spirited Away were anarchists? And also kobolds. I'm your host, Patrick Perini. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
Are you mocking my intonation right now? Is that where we're starting?
That was how I felt like saying hello today.
Is that the energy we're starting this goddamn podcast? I will turn this car around.
Projecting, Patrick?
Do kobolds have eggs?
Hold on, wait, Caustic, what?
Do kobolds lay eggs?
All right, I need everybody to lock in. This is
Dragons. Dragons lay eggs.
They definitely do.
Kobolds do live birth like chameleons.
Okay.
Chameleons are still eggs.
Not all chameleons.
Sharks.
There's
You think
I
of
watched it on Planet Earth. There's a
really?
chameleon that lays
He's
eggs
right.
and the babies fall and they land on they stick to leaves as they fall.
He's right.
Oh, so they're like giraffes.
All right. Like giraffe.
Our kobolds. All right, hold on. Redux. Our
Kobolds are like giraffes.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
If you
Kobolds
took
are like
if you
giraffes.
took a giraffe and went and made them regular normal height,
You
they
see
would
a
look
kobold.
just like kobolds. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm watching the magic of nature right now. I'm watching this.
Are you
chameleon give
actually
birth.
watching this?
Are you watching a
chameleon?
giraffe
Okay.
birth? Dude, it's so funny.
I wasn't lying. I wasn't talking nonsense.
No, it's not lying. I'm watching it right now. David
I lie a
Attenborough.
lot,
Talking
so I understand
chameleons,
people.
not lions.
Welcome to Unbalanced Encounters, the only show that dares to ask, how do chameleons give birth? I'm your host, Patrick Perini. Anyway, on our last fucking episode, God almighty.
It's like a sticky egg sack thing, and it falls out and goes.
If one animal has a cloaca,
We can't.
now National
We
Geographic.
can't. I can't restart the episode a third time.
They lost their funding.
you
We're
do know
replacing them.
you do know that if two separate species both have a cloaca, they can have a baby together.
I don't.
This is the weirdest opportunity for crossbreeding.
No, the cloaca is like a wink and a nod joke that you only notice if you watch the whole
Don't
video.
say
You
wink
have to
and
watch all
nod.
of them.
A wink and a nod in the same sentence as cloaca.
That's crazy.
down now.
Oh God!
It's been a
I
week.
now in my rider, I'm going to need to put no conversations about cloacas. Anyway,
No calorical conversations.
Nice.
in our last session, the kobold fight took a turn. Having been wrenched injuriously back into the cart, Weevil regained his consciousness to Cal clumsily poring over his wounds. Running short of patience with his attackers, he dropped under the proverbial chandelier, casting haste on Odion, who kicked the fight back off. Which is where things went off the rails. Quite literally. Carts clashed and careened over the edge, and our party feather fell into the abyss, all except for Cal. Cal was lucky enough to find a parachute, of all things, and lucky enough to hang for longer in the pitch, with only a disembodied voice for company. It implored her to turn on her compatriots and vouchsafe the horde. In return, pillows, fit for a princess. And then she collapsed next to Flo, a pit of lava, and a river full of metal waste. Contrast to Weevil and Odion, who landed some distance away, in a serene glen that would be the envy of any Studio Ghibli animator. Split down the middle, the Ospreys began to talk. We found out that Odion feels like all eyes are on him, that he is required to be an adventurer. Weevil is unconvinced. Flo hates her name. Always has. Doesn't even belong to her, really. It's her mother's. She is positively jealous of Cal, who got to pick her name. The emotional exposition wove through you all investigating your surroundings. Odion and Weevil discovered the glen was the home of Crawdad Sally and set off to track her. Flo and Cal followed the sluice to its source. And all of you slowly converged upon the Kobold Defense League HQ, where you saw Bonathan Ramshackle in chains dragged into the office of the KDL chairwoman. Inside, we saw Crawdad Sally, who drug Weevil and Odion into custody. Hoping to distract, Flo made a desperate bid by launching her new Gargoyle Elemental into the fray. It went off, which is where we pick up now. Weevil and Odion. The two of you are currently being held by the scruff by Crawdad Sally in a relatively small but well-apportioned little office. In a chair, far side toward the door, you see Bonathan Ramshackle, who has been sort of chained. Their chains sort of binding him to the chair. A chain's also sort of binding his arms to his sides and gagged with a little bit of cloth. Classic abduction stuff. And obviously, Crawdad Sally is in this room, holding the both of you, and you see sort of a big oaken desk. And behind that oaken desk is a kobold woman. And these kobolds are, draconic, but they're also kind of that Germanic kobold where they've got sort of these like goat features. She's kind of got like a snout. There's like a mixture of sort of scales and fur. And she is dressed in a neat little frock. She has tiny little pince-nez kind of resting precariously on the bridge of her snout. And she has a little bit of a preacher's collar that's been sort of hastily attached to her frock. And she looks to the two of you, looks to Ramshackle, kind of cocks her head. Oh, well, I do declare. These must be two more of your adventuring party. And she looks to Ramshackle, who kind of gives an impassive stare back. There's about half a beat here before we get a little interrupted by the gargoyle. Do either of you say anything?
I think Odion just looks to Weevil and nods. And that's it.
I think Weevil misinterprets that as he should speak, and he says, "Why are you kidnapping us?"
Kidnapping you? Oh, no. You misunderstand. The two of you are trespassing. We're kidnapping him. And she points a clawed finger at Ramshackle.
Why are you kidnapping him?
Oh, well, that is an interesting question. Allow me to explain. And then at that point, we hear,
Yes, the monologue. Exactly what Odion wanted.
we hear the gargoyle line. Emily,
Yes.
can I please just get you to roll a d20 for me?
Oh.
Dice.
You're trying to beat a
Dice
14.
for this?
Well, I got a 4, so.
Okay. What do we hear? From the gargoyle as this hairpin is like picked up and thrown back in your direction, and a bunch of kobolds storm toward the two of you?
I think the gargoyle just goes, "Well, fuck you then, dude," and then like flies off. And I think Flo just grabs the pin, looks at Cal. It was worth a shot.
I want to be exceptionally clear. We see none of this. We hear the gargoyle and some murmurings from Flo and the distant descent of 100 kobolds on their position. The camera does not leave this room. The Grand Worm is the reason why we are abducting your ramshackle one. It is our missive, you understand.
Is the Grand Worm the dragon?
The Grand Worm is a dragon, yes, that is. Worm with a Y. I suspect if you've heard this so far, you've maybe not seen it written down. Worm with a Y, yes.
And you work for him?
Oh, my, no. We do not.
But you
work
kidnap
for the Grand
people
Worm.
for him.
We simply do the bidding of the Grand Worm. The Grand Worm knows the way.
And the Grand Worm wants Ramshackle?
Yes, Miss, it was very clear. The Grand Worm requires that we obstruct the ramshackle ones.
I looked to Ramshackle. Why?
Insight check.
This is the best insight check I've rolled this whole campaign.
What'd you get?
10.
Cool. On a 10, I'm going to ask you to pick. Would you like to gain a little bit of insight from Ramshackle or from the chairwoman?
From Ramshackle. I'm almost asking the question more to Ramshackle than I am to anyone else.
He puts on almost a slightly exaggerated, baffled look. Again, he can't really say anything, but he just kind of... Are you two not aware of the Grand Worm? Is this the first you're hearing about the Grand Worm, the Lord below?
Well, we know that there's a dragon, but I don't know if, aside from you guys, and I gesture sheepishly to the kobolds and their crew, this is the first time we're hearing it called the Grand Worm, or like it having things it wants.
When you say besides the kobolds, I am going to ask Caustic this time to please roll me a d20.
I can do that.
Try to beat an 18.
Yeah, be at 18.
No. What'd you roll?
1.
Okay.
We're doing
Not an
great out here,
18.
guys.
Again,
Golf rules!
camera just stubbornly Wes Anderson fixed on back and forth between the two people having this conversation. And in the offing, we hear, again, 100 kobolds descend and start beating the two of you. The sounds of fist on flesh, chains and ropes. The trolls are getting involved. Just absolute bedlam in the offing. And the camera does not move.
So, if you're not kidnapping us, are we free to go?
Oh, no. I'm so sorry. You still misunderstand. We are to sort of hand over as many of the adventurers that as we can to the Grand Worm. So, we're going to have to take you in the ramshackle one, and we're going to have to put you in a bit of a holding situation. I'm so surprised that this is the first you're hearing about the Grand Worm. I thought all adventurers knew about the Grand Worm.
How many adventurers have you met prior to us?
She holds up a hand, puts up a claw 1.
Can you count?
She gets stuck at 3, gives you a furious look, starts over. Besides the 3 of you, 4.
How many are in John Johnson's party?
Do you ask that question by name?
Yes. I mean, Odion knows how many would be in the party, but
she
says
rolled
it out loud.
a 5, and she gives you just a completely blank expression. I have absolutely no idea who that is or what that even means.
Can I get the sound of the music for John Johnson?
Well, you know what the music sounds like. Oh, you're going to hum it. You're going to hum it. Oh,
see
then
the reaction of
check.
the kobold.
Performance check.
Fantastic. I rolled a 16 minus 1, which
for
is
a 15. Okay, this is a 15 is good enough to give her advantage on her sort of insight here.
Okay.
That's a 15. Now that does sound familiar. There was one of them's. There, ramshackle one, that had this aura emanating off him that was positively jubilant. But they was all together, so presumably that is to whom you refer. While you guys are working this out, the chairwoman has pulled a bunch of old scrolls onto her desk and looks as if she's about to begin telling you things.
Weevil. The main thing is we're trying to get them to start monologuing and explaining their big evil plan. And then that's where you come in and think of a way to get us out of here. That's usually how this works.
We've never heard of the Great Worm. Please tell us. Oh, curiosity. We are befuddled with it.
Both of you roll me perception checks.
Amazing.
I'm back, baby. That was a 2.
Hell yeah.
Natural 19 for a 23.
Ramshackle shoots Weevil daggers. You can see it in his face, even behind those black glasses. He's upset. And really quick before we sort of see the chairwoman's response, can I get Flo one more time for a D20 here?
Nat 1.
Okay. You all hear just everything rises to a fever pitch. There's a hooting and hollering of trolls. You hear the crucible kind of steams over, bubbles over, and then all of a sudden silence as Flo and Cal are dragged in chains. And both of you have been, again, sort of hands behind your back, sort of tied up in these heavy metal chains. You're thrown in onto the ground. And Nicholas has been hog-tied, right?
On a little twig.
Yeah. And they toss him in on top of you. And you guys never see, Weevil and Odion, you guys don't see sort of any of the kobolds. They're just thrown in and they shut the door. And they go back to their jobs. And the chairwoman goes, "Oh, well, that's mighty convenient. I didn't realize there was more of you. This is going to make this, and this is going to be educational for all of you." And she stands up, and as she stands, you see that the chair that she's sitting in is a very old human-sized chair with just rocks piled up so that it's tall enough for her to reach this desk.
Like a little booster seat.
Yeah.
I have a question separate from the monologue.
Sure.
Does Sally wear any jewelry?
Oh, an interesting
Like in
question.
her hair or like necklaces, earrings, rings of any sort?
Give me an investigation check.
I'm a million. No, not a million. I'll give you a specific number. 17.
17, I think that you see that she's got some like wooden sort of beads and stuff, mostly sort of non-piercing. It's like necklaces and some stuff like kind of tied into her hair. You see a couple of brass, maybe braid, kind of cuffs. Why?
Okay, because while this conversation is happening,
Yeah.
I would like, if possible, for my shadow
Yeah.
to attempt to remove one of the more hardened rings, like one of the metal ones, or if there's
Yeah.
a stone one.
Your shadow kind of reaches out and just pulls a little stone pinky ring off of Crawdad Sally's finger in the hand that she's holding Odion up with.
Cool. I'm going to cast Enlarge on the ring, and I'm going to have my shadow shove it over the female kobold.
We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. I think you're
Okay.
doing this very slowly, very surreptitiously, right? You're trying to sort of be hidden. And I think, yeah.
Odion already has a notepad and pencil out like he was ready to listen.
She sort of thumbs through these scrolls and starts, well, as we understand the Great Worm, 1,000 years ago, they stole the gold of every nation. Nearly half of all that had been mined at that time fell under their control all at once. And like any good thief in the night, they needed a place to hide. And so this island, the Devil's Caldera, was created out of an accord between the Grand Worm in need and the Devil. The terms of the deal stipulated that when the last gold left this land, the dragon would be indentured to deathless servitude indefinitely. However, the worm was double-crossed. Soon as that ink dried, the devil started sending adventurers. And at this point, she holds up a claw, pointing to each of you, in to steal that gold. The grand worm grows ever more tempest-tossed in its urgency. We believe that they will sink the caldera before they fail to protect their hoard. And so in protection of this place, and in protection of our Lord beneath, it is upon us to expel all adventurers from the mountain. And as ordained by the Grand One themselves, to forestall the ramshackle ones. And as you guys are sort of processing this, you see that Crawdad Sally looks kind of nonplussed, right? You get the sense that, like, she probably doesn't believe this, but she's still here for a reason that you haven't uncovered yet. And Ramshackle is still in that kind of exaggerated place of confusion. And that's kind of what you guys are all seeing as Weevil casts Enlarge on this ring.
Yeah, so as the ring goes from finger size to a little bit bigger, my shadow is going to shove it over her neck.
Okay.
And I am going to say, okay, everybody pause, release Ramshackle, unlock those, or I will break concentration on that spell. That ring will become normal size and it will cut her head off. So put us down, please, and we can have a conversation. I can break concentration quicker than you can do anything else. Who's dying? And I'm eyeballing Sally. I can act quick. How quick can you act?
I think you overestimate how much I care about any of these individuals, but I'll leave it to her. What say you, chairwoman? Oh my. This is not exactly how I expected this going. Well, I think you ought to understand that I would be more than willing to give my life in service to the Grand Worm and complete my objective herein. But I want you to know that I mean you no violence or offense. And while you are here, none of my people will hurt you. If it would make a difference, I am happy to Untie and gag your friends. We will carry out our mission. Should I fall, there are 100 others ready to take my place.
Untie my friends. We can take the next step from there.
She nods her head as best she can with this collar around her throat toward Crawdad Sally. Crawdad Sally kind of looks at the both of you. All right. Sets you both down. Goes over, starts to undo the chains, undoes the gags.
Ugh, about time.
She kind of kicks you with her foot a little bit.
Bitch.
She spends like a fair amount of time freeing Nicholas and like making sure he's okay.
Bless. Bless. That's what we need.
You want a ramshackle too?
Please.
All right. And she undoes Ramshackle. And Ramshackle. That's quick thinking, lad.
Do we want to kill all of these people, or do we want to try to keep talking to them?
Well, there's a lot more outside that door.
Yeah, I don't think we'd really get too far. There's quite a few.
I mean, honestly, we didn't walk in here by ourselves.
Odion isn't talking, he's just looking at Ramshackle.
Ramshackle, I think, kind of nods, says, as much as I am not a fan of the bilge water this here lizard is spouting, the utter nonsense of it all, if they have already taken the John Johnson into custody, I don't have a lot of hope for us fighting our way out of here without grievous injury. Perhaps it is time to circle the wagons, as they say.
Well, can't there be, like, some negotiation or something?
You ever try negotiating with a zealot?
No? Is it hard?
They do not begin to know the meaning of the word, nor does compromise enter their vernacular. I think it is a little bit more reasonable to fight only when they become the aggressors and trust them until they cannot be trusted. Especially if it helps put us back on track.
Back on track for what?
The mission, lad.
The mission? What mission?
Go ahead and give me... God, I think it's gotta be inside again, man. I'm sorry.
13. I'll use 2 luck to bump it to 15.
15? Okay.
Nice.
That is not gonna beat his charisma check here. Go ahead and take a luck point.
Oh, dang.
Final load, boy.
Oh, okay. I'm realizing what's happening. I'm so sorry. I look to Odion and Flo and Cal. I was just doing this totally wrong. I am so sorry. And I'm gonna have my shadow pull the ring off of the kobold's neck and start shoving it over Ramshackle's. And I'm gonna lean forward. I think we can talk now. You got like half a minute till I lose concentration.
I want to dial in on everybody in this moment, because this is an intense sort of turnabout here. And we're going to start, I think, with Odion.
Odion, after listening to that story, is thinking about his encounter with, well, just Ramshackle, because he heard Ramshackle's name, about how John Johnson had known about the situation and yet still pulled loot after loot out of the lair without discussing it with anybody else. And he just lets Weevil do his thing, because he's had a feeling that Ramshackle has been keeping something from them this whole time. And if anything, he said earlier he was tired of old men asking him to do work without giving him information.
Cal.
Cal is feeling very lost in this moment, almost like whiplash of being tossed in here, suddenly seeing Sally, a kobold stacked upon chairs, hearing about a worm, not sure what this worm is, and now going from kobold enemy to now ramshackle enemy in last treasure, and not really wanting to give up her gold, but just wanting to get out alive. Like, she is uncomfortable and fidgeting and not sure as to who to direct, like this irritation and unsettling discomfort at. Like, it's just this weird energy that if anyone were to like step on her right now, that's the person she's gonna explode on. She's just not sure.
And Flo.
Ever since the minecart incident where Ramshackle nearly killed, he fucked. I say he fucked up. He did something on purpose that risked them, just so he could hurt somebody else or get this kobold, off the tracks. It was a whole thing, and from that moment, it cemented in Flo's mind. She doesn't trust him. She'd had some weird feelings about him since we set off and since the very beginning, but that was it. That was I can't trust this man.
And Weevil.
I think Weevil is a little frustrated that they've been yanked around in a bunch of different directions. And to be honest, he never got into any of this for weird politics of things. He got into this because he wanted a team. And he's seen his Aunt Grannies do things much worse than this many times.
Sure.
And it is easy for him to slip into the role of, let's try to pull some levers to get what we need. And I think what he feels like he needs right now is clarity to what is happening to his party so that they can move forward in a way that isn't going to lead to their death.
Weevil, in your head, and in your head alone, you hear, I've told you before, Mr. Woebringer, keep your mind fixed upon the dragon. I meant it then and I meant it now. And I do not have any intention of dying at your hand because you cannot read between the lines. If you let me go, and we follow this plan, I will give you the information you want. I will take you into my confidence. But you have to make the right next move. And this was basically the message. Cantrip, you can respond if you would like.
If you cross me, I will survive, and I will devote more time than I have to anything else to making you specifically understand what it means to be a woe bringer.
There's a beat, and from his body language, you understand that he heard you, right? There's sort of an impassivity to it that it didn't rattle him, right? He's not pushing back. He's not fighting you on that point. But there's not a verbal response.
I think I wait as long as I can, hoping for a response. And in the last second, I have the shadow flick the ring up over his head, and it sort of spins in the air and goes back to normal size and clatters on the ground.
Right. That's settled then. We will allow the kobolds to put us where they need us. And he turns to the chairwoman, sort of flashing his gun in his holster. But be warned, as I'm sure you have found out, we are a capable group, individually as well as collectively. We will not, under any circumstances, tolerate violence against us for even one moment.
Cal will turn to the group. So that's it? They're gonna get away with just beating me and Flo? And then whatever his secret is, I don't understand any of this. Are we okay with moving with this? Or we're gonna go stand in front of a giant worm and hope everything's okay?
Let's just work this through. Let's see where this takes us. Because we don't have another option.
And when it comes to dealing with the devil, I know from experience with my father that sometimes you just have to know when to push and when to step back.
I'm starting to wonder what kind of devils we've been dealing with this whole time as I kind of eyeball Ramshackle.
I didn't even know we were dealing with any devils.
At that, you actually see Cronetzelli kind of pipe up. You all are adventurers. The hell you mean you didn't know you were dealing with devils? I am led to believe that your primary source of funding is old Scratch Capital Partners.
As far as Ramshackle has said?
This mine, 500 years ago, was constructed by Old Scratch Industrialists Limited. Now I want you to ask yourself, who's behind a millennia-old operation. I do not know if this here mountain was constructed for such cockamamie purposes to house a dragon. And I do not know if one person has been at the till the entire time. But I do know that folks like you and that Johnson character keep coming in, taking out. Pretty soon ain't gonna be none left. Gold, or life, or anything else that you deem is too precious to leave where it lies.
Like Old Scratcher Insurance. They're the same, and they're the ones paying us.
Yes.
They're the same thing. And she kind of like steps very close to you in this. You can kind of see the frustration around it. Her fist kind of curling up a little bit into balls.
So you're upset that people who tried to take your home are the ones who are paying you?
Well, yeah, it's all going to be just a cycle. Why am I earning money from them if I'm just going to give it all back to them? They're the ones that make it hard for me to even live in the first place. There's a reason I had to be here. Well, so they drive me to a spot where I have to get a job where I put my life in danger so they can hire me so they can get more things of what they want? You were there, and she's actually going to kind of poke at Odion a little bit, getting a little physical in this. You saw this. You saw when they came down to my home. Why did they even bother put coin in my pocket? Why don't they just keep it? I'm going to have to give it back to them all anyway. How was I supposed to know all old scratchers are the same?
I don't know. Huh.
Just kind of irritated by your quiet and very singular word responses. She'll actually turn to Ramshackle in this. So you also knew this? That they're just taking advantage of us? Maybe we weren't even supposed to come back. Maybe we were supposed to get killed by these kobolds anyway and they didn't even care. And she's gonna actually pull her weapon out, holding it in her hand and kind of gesturing towards it. It's very physical at this point.
Ms. Cal, I am not sure what you want me to say. That the world is fair. That we are not here to eat what we kill, literally and proverbially.
So that contract I signed, that goes to them.
They will take a percentage of spoils, yes, in exchange for every ounce of provision that has made it possible for us to get this far in the first place and beyond. That is the way of an adventurer's life.
And that whole cycle is called indentured servitude, if you didn't know. My father talks about it a lot. He thinks I don't listen on the other side of the door. I hear everything.
That's what I am?
It's what too many people are. I'm coming to realize.
Well, if I can keep some of that coin from not going in their pockets, I'll keep it.
Too right.
And in order to do that, we have to survive. So, I believe we have been shown the door. And I believe we have a prison cell waiting for us for the night.
Prison cell? Excuse me. And she's going to turn to the chairwoman.
As you do that, I actually need the better perception and investigation checks from everyone.
13 from Odion.
Ooh, a 19 investigation.
Great.
Also a 19 investigation.
Yeah.
Investigation.
12 perception.
This has been a very sort of high-stakes emotional moment. I think Cal, in particular, is not paying attention to surroundings. It's just too bound up in sort of the heat of this frustration. But the rest of you, as this sort of collapses around Flo's indignation, glance back over to the chairwoman, who has been sort of sitting and watching. And when Ramshackle indicates, we're going to be moving on, we're going to this prison cell until tomorrow, her eyes lock onto a bookshelf that you've all been standing in front of. Across the room from her desk, there is a bookshelf that she's focused on, and that's what Odion, you see. Weevil and Flo piece together that bookshelf is on hinges.
Hell yeah. Secret Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
Through the mountain.
As I turn to the chairwoman, I say, excuse me, I would expect... Oh, and she's going to follow her eye line, see the bookcase. What do we have here? And she's going to saunter over to the bookshelf.
Crawdad Sally stops you and starts to usher you out of the room as she exchanges a look with the chairwoman.
What? Get your hands off me! What's behind the bookcase?
As we start to get ushered out, I'm going to stop the group and put my hands up on either side. And I'm just going to say out loud, we can beat them in a fight. If there's anything you guys want to do in there, we should turn around and do it together.
I think as Weevil says that, Odion just says, I left my pike. I can't fight. And I'll keep walking.
We follow you all silently through the works of this place, and Odion and Weevil become privy to what Cal and Flo have already seen, that this is a place of sort of newly industrial manufacturing. They are smelting, they are creating arms, and they are, with the use of the brimstone powder, creating bombs.
Can Cal give like a bad tour guide take? Over there is where we saw a kobold died. That's where we had a gargoyle pin, in which, Flo thought it'd be a good idea. And behind that rock over there is where we got the shit beat out of us.
Take a luck point. That's fantastic. And you all are led sort of across this camp to the sort of far wall. And in the cave, there's been sort of an iron mesh, right? Kind of classic prison bars built into the sort of rock face. And the two kobolds that you guys, the two kobolds from the hook line with the big hooks that speared Weevil are standing guard. And they sort of greet you surprisingly cordially as you walk up. Like, you notice that as you're moving through this space, the kobolds don't fuck with you, right? They really just don't seem super interested now that you're the chairwoman's problem. And they greet you cordially, and they open the door and they let you in, locking it behind you, and you hear...
God damn it.
I pull out my gun and shoot myself in the head.
The only right answer.
Oh, man, I might need to cut that joke because I do not want to have to put a trigger warning in.
Okay, apologies. But that's how I feel.
Can we just make a cave collapse in right now and just...
And you don't necessarily see John Johnson specifically, but you do hear this music sort of emanating, echoing off of the rock, kind of the smooth rock wall. You see some bodies sort of moving off in the corner. Looks like that party has already been abducted. From that corner, you guys hear, they got you too, good to see y'all.
No, we came willingly.
It's the John Johnson.
Oh, please.
Odion with you. Odion, how you doing? It's good to see you.
Odion walks to the back of the cell, finds a little spot, and just slides down the wall and sits.
Cal will sit next to Weevil. Bet they don't even know the rest of our names.
You know what's so weird? I spent so long being almost obsessed with that guy. Now that we're locked in a little cell, and I'm going to say the rest of this with the message spell.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just see him get punched in the face.
A small smile creeps across her face, but she won't say anything.
I'll say this out loud just because I want Flo to hear it too. I want everyone to hear it. If something needs to become confrontational, I'm not opposed to it.
I just rolled in that 20 perception. You guys hear one of the other figures that you have yet to identify say, I wouldn't recommend it. You might win, but you won't survive. We already scoped this place out. It's fully rigged to blow. One false move, and they just set it all on fire. And Odion, you know that this is the party's barbarian, Falk. Thank you, patron NZ Sterling, for the name
Yay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's a cool name.
Hey, big fella.
You see, you see a slight, fairly tall, but slight sort of lithe woman turn around and face you.
Oops.
Yeah. What's up?
And I eye the John Johnson and go, you know the last scrap your boss was in, he ran away from to go sell shovels?
Yeah. I was there. A bomb went off. We all ran. We don't want to die.
How did you feel about him going out to buy some shovels?
I think I made like 40 gold off of that, and I didn't have to do shit.
How big is his jail cell?
That's a great question. It's pretty big. It's probably like maybe a good 20-foot deep by like 100-foot, 150-foot wide.
Oh, so it's like a big holding cell for like a bunch of people.
Yeah, it's pretty empty too. It's just the 9 of you.
I think you're probably right that if anything really crazy happened in here, this place might all blow, but I don't think anything that crazy is going to happen in here, and I'm going to punch her in the face.
Oh, you punched the barbarian in the face? Yeah. Incredible.
And I try to get all my part of it, and I just
yeah, let's do
punch her in the face.
Let's do it. Go ahead and roll me an attack.
That is a 9.
Okay. She grabs your fist, just fully blocks the punch, and she is gonna give you a little forehead smack here.
Oh, not a
Tap. That's a 15. That's a 15.
disrespect.
Does 15 break your armor class?
Oh, yeah.
With her other hand, she just thwap! And she has multi-attack. She's gonna hit you again. That's a 10.
10 will miss.
Okay.
Okay.
On the second
Like a
hit,
slap shot.
you kind of back up a little bit. The hell are you doing?
I don't like your boss.
I don't like my boss either.
I don't like you. You aren't being good adventurers, and my party's really pissed. And I think we got to get a little bit of energy out. And I'm going to try to punch her again.
Hell yeah, get him, Weevil!
Okay.
That's it. I kid you not, a natural 20.
Hell yeah! Go ahead and roll. You don't roll anything. It's
Nope,
just your
I just
strength
do.
modifier.
Literally, it doesn't even make it do more damage.
Yeah.
It's still just 1 damage.
It's one hit.
'Cause there's no dice to double.
Where do you hit her?
I'm punching her in the face.
Okay.
I'm trying to start a fight.
You hit her like right in the lip, and you see you split it a little bit. There's just a little bit of blood.
Wizard ever made you bleed before?
Just once. I don't like to talk about him though. He broke my heart, and she is going to fully try to thwack, like headbutt you.
I need this lore.
That is oh my god, 19 plus.
Yeah, it's gonna hit. I have 14 AC. I'm not good. I'm not a physical character.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I was gonna say the wizard up front and center. Yes.
But I do think it sends you stumbling back about 5 feet.
I rub my face without making eye contact. I sort of look over to Cal. I'm like, oh man.
What the hell? She'll drop her warhammer, and using that lineage of Furious, she's gonna like take a running start charge just to throw her whole body into this opponent, trying to get back for Weevil.
Incredible. Roll me athletics.
Yeah.
19. She grabs you fully, like, just, grabs you by your collar and just, like, in between your legs, just puts you into
Not
the ground.
fair, you gotta put me down.
How old are you?
Doesn't matter. Old enough to throw a punch. Just give me a chance. And she's like swinging in the air trying to hit her.
Give me a chance.
She's just like holding your head while you're like swinging.
Come on, don't be afraid of me. Just one hit.
He will grab each of them by the back of their cloaks.
Come on.
Are you done, Falk?
Yeah.
I'm not. Let me try.
And he just yanks them back.
Call yourselves adventurers. And I spit at them.
Yeah. Cal will try to spit too.
You were supposed to be better than that. And I point at the John Johnson.
Better than what, son?
I don't know anymore. I sit down in the dust.
Well, we're in for a long evening if that's going to be the timbre conversation. I would recommend that we get on friendlier terms if we're looking to escape tonight.
Cal is gonna like flip around to Odion. Are you really thinking we're working with them?
Give me a plan. Weevil, Cal, give me a plan. Tell me how we're going to get out of this.
Yeah. that, and instead she'll go over to the opposite corner and just grab her warhammer as she walks past and just starts hitting the wall out of frustration instead. Like, she does not know what to do, but that's just like, it's like her punching bag right now.
One of the kobolds sort of leans in. Everybody okay in there?
Yeah, it's super great.
Actually, I need some fresh bedding, and could you make sure it's 100 thread count, thank you? Oh, and someone sweep up, and the toilet bucket is full. Thank you.
I sit down next to Odion and say a little quietly, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much of the stories about those guys are bullshit?
I would say a nice 5. They've done some amazing things. But embellishment is his middle name. No. John is his middle name.
Doesn't sit right. Say what you want about the Woods of Woe. As nasty as those creatures might be, they're honest. You know? People do what they do. They don't embellish. I don't like it.
Then I'll be honest with you. If we would have tried to fight our way out of here, I could probably make it out. But I don't think I would have made it out with the rest of you. And that's why I chose not to fight. Now, will you trust me?
Yeah, I'll trust you.
And I think with that, we are going to jump ahead a little ways to that evening as the works begin to sort of die down and any sort of lamplight is turned down in favor of the ambient glow of the crucible and the bubbling rivers of lava that crisscross this area. We are going to close in on Ramshackle and Weevil as Weevil is sort of pulled aside. Weevil?
Ramshackle?
You said you wanted answers. I'm here to proffer them.
All right. Let's hear it. And my shadow kind of like leans in, puts its hand on its chin, to look inquisitively.
Our mission, as I'm sure you understand it, as was present in your contract, is to follow this here map to the Dragon's Den and withdraw the final load of gold belonging to that ornery varmint. And even if that had been where I wanted to leave things, it would have been bafflingly unwise to say that in front of the chairwoman of the league dedicated to preventing us from doing that specific thing. But you and I both know there's more. What I am about to tell you, I trust you will keep in confidence. It is delicate information, and it is information that I will need to find careful time to disclose to the rest of our crew.
I think Weevil thinks about that little bit of hair he took from Flo and learning that it was demon hair. Yeah. I know the feeling.
You are young and you are impetuous, but you are not stupid. I know you do. And he kind of shifts his glasses, scratches his beard a little bit, and you sort of see him shift posture, and he continues the conversation in message. He's being very careful about who receives this. When I advised you to keep your mind fixed upon the dragon, I was not being metaphorical. I do not believe nearly a word of the kobold's spiel that this island exists because of a deal between a dragon and a devil to hide some stolen hoard. But dragons exist. The world is rife with them. Hell, their hearts power our trains. We know this to be true. What we don't know, what we haven't known for some time, is whether or not one still resides beneath this caldera. Young Weevil, I have reason to believe that the beast yet lives. And as you and I have discussed, I believe this to be my last adventure. I'm not a man who wants for gold. Somehow it always seems to slip away from me anyhow. And He sort of chokes up for a second before continuing. You're not entirely sure what to make of that.
The beast is the prize. And I bring you into my confidence because I believe you and I are alike in that way.
Weevil nods.
I wish for the last great thing that I do upon this earth, worthy of record, to be to slay that dragon that has eluded capture for millennia.
I look to the party of John Johnson, and in message I say, do we need them to beat it?
I do not trust these kobolds. I think our best way out of here is to find an exit, sneak out under the cover of slumber. I believe we need John Johnson for that much at least. But beyond that, he will strictly prove to be an impediment.
I have not been a violent person most of my life, but when it's time to move on John Johnson's party, well, we'll see what happens.
Good evening, Basin City. Tonight I come to you not with news, but with concern. I believe the Horde is running dry. Those pillars of our community, legendary adventurers, adventure capitalists, and the Church of St. Wild itself are aware and have been concealing this fact for some time. Slowly, the Church has been steering our economy away from rightful and noble gain to the far more dangerous work of harvesting monster parts for industrial and alchemical uses, including, as I finally deciphered, the infamous drug trade. This is how capitalists like Old Scratch are able to profit even as the gold dwindles and the bodies of adventurers mount. And now something under the mountain has begun to fight back. I have traced the vandalism across Basin City to the Kobold Defense League, a terrorist cell fighting to protect the dragon they claim yet lives. While I have little evidence to verify this claim, their endeavors have resulted in a multitude of casualties, and our protectors, the Angels and their insurance partner employers, remain absent. My friends, my fellow basin dwellers, our city's welfare is under imminent threat. Should the gold supply dry up entirely, I fear for how the monsters beneath the mountain might react, and how the tycoons who command our economy might push all the harder into the dangerous and lucrative monstrous harvest. In the coming days, I will use this platform to reveal every detail of my investigation so that you might come to your own conclusions about what must be done. Until then, I'm your news correspondent, Ferrin IV.
Hi, friends. It's Patrick, your GM, your actual literal best friend, your Huckleberry, and I'm here for your gold. Stick 'em up. No, but actually, you know that we are not in the business of shoving irrelevant ads down your throat. And so this show is really made possible by your direct support. When you back us on our website, unbalancedencounters.com, 100% of your membership goes to keeping the lights on in our studio. Should you decide to grace us with your filthy capital, you shall be indicted into an elite legion, and the benefits of membership are many and varied. You get our original soundtrack from all of our shows, including our 80-episode epic Rally. You get to name NPCs. You get access to new episodes 2 weeks early, discounts on merch in our merch shop, and even an early access copy of Waste and Wild, the Tales of the Valiant setting book designed by me, Cinder, and Rift Kid Games, containing rules for Flo's class, the Godslinger, racing minecarts, and so much more. So mosey on over to unbalancedencounters.com and give us your gold or fingernails or whatever currency is deemed appropriate in your cosmology. Would anyone else like to get a conversation in before you all sort of convene under the cover of night to talk about how you're getting out of here?
I think Odion would like to talk to Cal and Flo.
Cal, exhaustedly, albeit very much slowly, will still be hitting away at that wall. It's frustration. Even every now and then she just kicks it instead, Give me
an athletics check.
17.
You don't notice this, but we're getting proverbial daylight there.
You've been chipping away at sort of where the bars meet the stone, and you've cleared away a little hunk. And I think while Ramshackle has sort of pulled Weevil aside to have this heart-to-heart, that is probably an opportune moment for Odion to find Cal. Cal's pretty obvious, to find Flo and converge upon Cal.
Stupid.
I think you got it.
Yeah, you think so?
I'm not good at talking, but
Yeah, you were real fucking quiet earlier, as she keeps hitting the wall.
I usually let you guys be yourselves. This next step in the adventure requires a lot of trust. And I'm gonna need to know as much as possible if you want to make it out of here alive with me. So, is there anything that either of you need to tell me? Turns back to Cal. The old man.
What? What old man? You're gonna have to be more descriptive than that.
The one that was shouting at you about a coin.
And like the realization hits her face, and you see the fur over her brows again as she angrily picks up that warhammer now with like a new form of energy just revived on that stupid Rip Durkin as she hits the wall again.
Who the hell is Rip Durkin?
You don't want to know. He's absolute trash.
No, I that's the point, Cal. I do want to know. Who is Rip Durkin?
I don't even know. He just came to me after some time I first met you and said, you need to do this, and gave me this coin and said that I can't lose this coin. And then he came back and he took that stupid coin. And I saw him in the cave once where I found that little secret pathway back and whatnot, but it doesn't matter now. That's it. That's all I know. I barely know his name. Gave me a coin. He took it back. That's it.
Life lesson, don't take money from random men that you don't really know.
I didn't know. And I didn't even really want to talk to him, but he insisted.
Another life lesson, when men insist really, really hard, it's bad news.
These are all very. these are all great.
Hold on,
points.
can we get a close-up on Emily saying that? Emily, can we get this louder for the camera? Can we just get a clean?
If men are super insistent, ladies, that's even more reason to walk away. Let this be a lesson.
You just see Odion nodding like, yeah. These are good
Yeah,
points.
that was a bad choice.
Somewhere John Johnson is muttering, "Not all men." Carry on.
I hate him so much. Weevil,
Made him even worse.
I have never
didn't know it
been
was
more
possible.
aligned with a character than my and Weevil's hate.
Listen, I don't know him.
Anyway, why does it matter, Odion? What's your theory about this? Why do you think he's involved?
I saw something when I concussed him. There were scales on the back of his neck.
I'm sorry, what? And she's gonna just throw her warhammer at the wall now at this moment, just leaving her hands. You saw something important and you didn't say anything?
Well, I was still trying to figure it out, just like I'm trying to figure out all this.
All right, you've had time to sit on it and think about it. What does it mean, Odion?
And then he's just gonna look to Flo. What is that? As he points to the gun.
A gun?
Yes, I understand it's a gun, but where did it come from? What do you know of it?
Honestly, Odion, I know you want me to be super honest with you and you're getting very tired of secrets. But so am I. All I know is that my mother gave it to me and that's it. It seems to have a mind of its own and it's pretty powerful from all I can tell. I don't really know how powerful it is compared to other things. I've never had a gun. Anyway, I mean, I even tried to speak to Weevil about it because he's good at magical things. And it tried to kill him. So maybe let's not ask questions about this. But once we get out of here, I promise you I'll be heading straight to my mother and finding out exactly what this is. But for now, at least it's helping. Kind of, I suppose.
Also, why are you asking all of these questions to us? You're giving us no context at all. Aren't you supposed to lead us, give us a vision or something?
Yes. And my idea is we break out of here and we figure out what the hell's going on here. Come back with different types of spoils. That old scratch, can't take away from you.
And what do you mean by that? If we're
Yeah.
trying to be open and honest with us.
Start spelling it out.
If we rewrite what an adventurer is, then that's a fortune that no one else has ever had.
I can't cash a story in.
Cal, not everything's about the materials. I understand that's what's usually been holding you down.
Usually?
Has always been holding you down. I understand that. And I am willing to trust you in you being able to keep us all healthy. But I need you to trust me in this plan of coming out of this with more than just gold.
So what, this is gonna change things? She'll look over at Flo. I'm not gonna be an indentured thing anymore?
This comes back to the conversation I was having with you earlier, with the thinking about what's after the pillow. The pillow, and only the pillow, will keep you here forever. I think what Odion is trying to say, in Odion's way, is that we need to try and break the cycle.
Okay. We can put the pillow aside for now. Listen, I'm on board for whatever this is. I just need to know what it is. I'm happy to hit anything, and she'll pick up that hammer again and just throw it against the wall again. I just don't know what it is.
She's got a point.
Hopefully, we're going to change the world.
Can we just start with this island?
Yeah, we'll start with this island.
Fine. She'll look over at that group. Do at least any of them have a pillow I can steal?
9 times out of 10, absolutely.
Let's make sure it's John Johnson's, shall we? Oh, sorry. The John Johnsons.
As you guys are sort of turning your attention over to the John Johnson and his merry men, you hear from behind you, "You did pretty good work on that all there." And you all turn around, and Cal, you recognize the individual that was helping John Johnson sell shovels after the explosion, whom Odion, you recognize as the party's brains, Adolin. Thank you very much, patron Mia T.
Thank
For
you.
the name Adolin. And they're sort of floating slightly off the ground. They're kind of bent over, looking at this hole.
No, it's my new art piece called If You Piss Me Off, I Smash Your Face In.
Such a long title.
That seems really worthy, yeah.
I'm assuming you found 3 or 4 ways to get out of here, Adolin?
34. But some of them are a little bit less practical than others. They involve sort of phasing through the wall, which is something I know not all of you can do.
We don't need 34. Don't we just need one good one?
I had extra time.
Also, usually the plans fail as we go through them, so it takes a lot of improv.
Helps to have a backup plan and another backup plan.
A lot of yes and.
Especially with, sort of John Johnson at the helm. It usually cocks things up with his crazy music aura and whatnot.
Cal will mutter under a breath, how come we didn't get a brains in our team?
Isn't it that kid? Thumb over to Weevil.
Just a shadow, just over.
Gives me the creeps.
Cal will just slightly just wave a little over at Weevil.
Weevil's having just this intense, silent conversation.
Yeah, Weevil and Ramshackle are like sitting really intensely, just silently together.
Why are they staring at each other like that? Anyway, so we're getting out. Fantastic. Because
Yeah, that is
that
the
bucket
plan.
stinks. And I...
You don't have to, stand next to it. You know this,
I have a very sensitive smell, okay? And I can smell it from 100 feet away, and I don't want to be anywhere near it any longer. So come on, chop chop.
Odion, how the hell? Where did you find these people?
They were the best of the best.
If you say so. If you say so. Anyway, we're talking about how to get out of here. If you all want to be part of that conversation, I assume that you want to know what the hell we're going to get up to, eh?
And if you're talking to us, it means that you need us as much as we need you.
Listen, JJ wasn't, sort of pulling any legs when he said that this place was rigged to blow. If we don't cooperate with you and the vice versa, sets up a rather untenable situation, huh?
Agreed.
Do we have to take all of you?
Who do you recommend leaving behind?
I've got ideas as she looks over at the John Johnson.
Listen, if we could book gigs without them, I'd be right there with you. You know what I'm saying?
Does his music fade as he like starts to fall asleep? Out of complete interest, like I know if he's not going to be falling asleep in this cell.
All of
I'm
his
just curious,
party members
outside
just
in the
have
world.
have earmuffs as like a key part of their kit.
Absolutely crazy. When he falls asleep, it turns into like a slightly more ethereal sort of plucked, like it's less textural, you know?
No, it completely turns into Brahms' lullaby, and I will not hear anything else about it. Ding, ding, ding.
To be honest, I don't know if it's a curse or what. There's no way he could have opted into this like intentionally, but hey, it is what it is. Like I said, the guy knows how to pull in funding like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Plus, his name looks good on the shirts.
It's kind of long.
But that's part of why it looks good. There's like a whole word art element to it, you know?
Adolin, what do you need from us?
I need a cheesy John Johnson merch shirt now.
Write that down. Well, I mean, mostly we need you to not, like, throw off alarm, you know what I'm saying? So if you wanted to stay here and not do anything, that's entirely up to you, but we need you to kind of be hush about it. If you want to come along, we need to agree on a plan. We need to figure out how we're dealing with everything in sequence. And they are going to make their way back to John Johnson, stopping off by Weevil and Ramshackle as they sort of wrap up their conversation. All right, bozos. We're trying to figure out how to get out of here. I'm assuming you probably don't want to just, sort of permanently be at the mercy of these kobolds. So, we work together, huh?
Sounds good. Weevil says through bared teeth.
Yeah.
You all sort of round table this, and you see that Adolin waves their hands over a piece of parchment, and a map sort of materializes based on their observations. First things first, we have 2 guards at the door. They're both asleep already. I'm not really worried about them. We have a new hole that we could potentially use to fish some keys in out of. That's maybe an interesting point of egress. Beyond that, here we have the forging area. I'm going to be entirely honest with you. There are so many half-made bombs. So many. And there are so many hammers that could come down at any moment. We have to tread through this space lightly. My guess is past the crucible, points a little further down the map, and swing around to the storage facility, which, again, I cannot emphasize enough, so much brimstone powder. So much. So much.
Yes, so much. I get it. Carry on.
Then, we throw ourselves upon the mercy of the waterfall and plummet down.
What if we can't swim?
Odion, you picked party members? that
Odion
can't
is looking
swim?
at Cal like,
I'm like,
excuse me?
well,
It's like that
Hold
scene
on.
in the movie where everybody just turns and stares.
like I can swim, but with as she tries to lift up, obviously her very heavy warhammer, it's a little harder sometimes.
That's a good point. Well, I guess that's just how it goes sometimes then, friend.
And he'll grab them all with one arm and just say, I'll hold on to it.
There was something odd that I spotted in the office. Looked like there was something on hinges. It looked like the bookcase might have been on hinges.
Oh yes, the little tunnel behind the bookcase, just like in my house.
Did you notice that too?
Yeah.
Very nice, Flo.
I wonder if it goes down to a dungeon like ours does. Although Daddy doesn't let me down there. He lets some people down there.
Your daddy has a dungeon?
That's probably a kink thing, right?
I don't know my father.
Wow, that conversation took an abrupt left turn. Odion, you good, bro?
No, I'm completely fine. I'm just saying I don't know.
What kind of treasures does your daddy have in his dungeon?
Man, I was
There's a
making a
weird
joke,
little
and now I feel
swing.
real bad about Odion's
Join us
whole
next week
parental
for our first
situation.
adult-only episode of Unbalanced
Yay.
Encounters.
What's in my daddy's dungeon?
My daddy's dungeon would actually be quite
My
good.
daddy's dungeon is crazy.
Quite a good podcast name.
Good name.
Now, we don't know where that goes, but we also don't know where the waterfall goes. And
Yeah, I mean, anything is preferable if we actually think that it's a way out and not just a room to get trapped in.
Well, I assume something with an intentional, wheelie door in front of it probably has to go somewhere. We could split up. We'll go check out the thing behind the rolly doors, and you can try the stalagmite fall.
I want to sort of back away slowly from the group. I just need to use the bucket. No one look! And she's gonna head over there. And
You put this in this space. I
Yeah.
need to be exceptionally clear.
Yeah, it's fine.
very
There has to be a
important.
bucket.
Pat sent us a DM earlier saying that there was a bucket.
There's a bucket.
I can
Guys,
get the poop
canon.
bucket
There's a
DM.
bucket.
It's canon.
We have Roll20 up. There's a bucket. So head over to the bucket. I want to get out the compass.
Ooh.
I want to pull out the compass.
Sure.
Basically, I want to go to the dragons, like the Great Worm. I want to see if it points in sort of like the waterfall direction
Sure.
as the quickest, most expeditious route, or
Sure.
towards the office. Because if it goes towards the office, then I'll know that there's a route that way.
What does it look like as you try to get this thing to work?
So with my back to the group, and I'll kind of be facing this bucket, and she's getting out the thing from I think it's like, I don't want to say like on like a little keychain, but it's like in her pocket, like on a little bit of a little bit of
Lead.
chain.
Sure.
And she kind of holds it up like a pendulum. What? And she's going to kind of like whisper at it like it's voice activated because she doesn't really know what she's doing. Which way? To the dragons there? Which way to the worm? The great worm? And she's going to hold it up and see what it does.
Go ahead and give me the better of an insight or arcana check.
No one look! She shouts over her shoulder.
I instinctually turned away. That wasn't like acting.
My investigation is a 19.
Nothing happens. And you sort of spin this thing again, multiple sort of concentric rings forming a sphere. You get a little whirl, and nothing happens. And as you sit with it for a moment, you see the scorch marks left on the brass
From where I shot it that time.
from your gun.
Whoops. Did I break it?
You are sort of attentive enough in this moment to piece two things together. When the gun has trained itself on objects, it has had a very peculiar effect. The two that you're aware of are the contracts and this item. And both were without your consent, frankly. What happened when it fired upon the contract? It didn't burn the paper. It burnt the thing that bound you. It burnt away whatever connection, whatever contract bound magic to this thing.
Oh, so is it just inert now? It's not a magic thing? Oh.
But I am going to need you to make me the better of stealth or sleight of hand.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, shit. Fuck it. I'll use all my luck. I'll get out to a 9 and hope for the best. I know it's not going to do much, but I rolled really bad. I rolled a 3.
How far away are you from me? Technically,
Oh,
I could give
within
you
30
2
feet,
luck.
for sure.
I could give you 2 more luck.
To get it to an 11?
That's that. If there's a number to get above, it's 10 at this point, right?
Yeah.
So let's.
yeah,
I'll
that's
give you 2 luck. Let's get you to
Okay.
11.
Good answer. Good answer.
So we're taking it to 11. Ramshackle has a +1 to his perception.
fair. Oh, no.
I rolled an 11. What do you got there, Ms. Osprey?
A whole pile of garbage, apparently. Anyway, why are you looking, pervert?
What a callback. What a callback.
Yes.
I forgot that fast.
Odion, he kind of shifts his weight, turns back to you. Oh, ain't that just peculiar?
What is?
I could have sworn you told me that y'all had not found Bronze Armilla.
No. I told you I didn't find any items. Did you ask me to find you a compass when we first started this adventure.
No, sir. But I did ask you if one had been found.
By me. If you wanted to hear from another party member, you should have asked them.
I see.
It's all right, Odion. It's broken anyway. And she's going to hold it out in front of Ramshackle. Here, you can have it if it means so much to you. She's going to drop it in his open hand.
See, keeping information from people doesn't feel so good, does it, Ramshackle?
Yes.
Yes! I think Flo's going to look at him and be like, yes!
If you have something to say, Mr. Osprey-Heronshaw, speak on it.
I've been saying it since I met you. Give me all of the information.
All right. If you think there's something I have been keeping from you, we will have a conversation. But that conversation will wait until after we have made our escape. Our window is short, and our time is nigh. We agreed we are to explore this bookshelf found by Weevil and Flo. So, we have a bit of a plan. The way we're going to do it is we are going to take volunteers to roll specific checks as we move through this space. We are going to start with stealing the keys off of the kobolds that are sleeping just on the other side of the door. The guards for this prison cell have just fully gone to sleep, and they don't really seem to have like a shift system.
Nicholas, squeeze through the bars. Go.
Do we want to do that? Do we want to do Nicholas?
Absolutely.
Incredible.
Yes.
I will use my shadow to help Nicholas. My shadow will leap to Nicholas and become very little and become a little Nicholas shadow, except still with my big crazy hair.
D20 from Cal, you are adding a +2 to this sleight of hand check.
And you get it at advantage.
At advantage.
Okay, good. That will be a 21 then.
Yeah.
Let's go, little buddy.
Hell yeah.
Nicholas, the actual adventure, the true adventure.
You tell me, Cal, what does this look like?
All right. Like, Cal gets down onto, like, squatting on the ground to get as close as she can as Nicholas is just standing on this ground. All right, we're going to need you to slip through. We're going to need you to find the keys. You got to be really super quiet and don't touch anything that looks like it's possibly be dangerous. You take care of yourself and you don't get hurt out there, okay? And this little bird is like tilting its head back and forth. You know, the cute thing that puppies do to show that they're like actively listening, and shuffles those 4 little paws before like bouncing on all 4 to agree. And then quickly goes to slip through that crack, like little beak first. And you see it like Nicholas wiggling through 1 foot, then a second one pops through before like the whole butt kind of fluffs its way out.
Cute.
Adorable.
And Nicholas sort of grabs the keys and brings them back in.
Mm-hmm.
Who is using them to open the door? You are going to be making a stealth check.
I could try. I'm +2. Okay, yeah. I can give this a little shot. Will you get on the other side? My shadow will jump to the other side and try to like hold the chain still.
Nice.
And as I try to reach across and try to, as gently as I can, try to find those moments where the key gets jammed and not make too much noise as I twist it in. As a 12.
The DC here was a 15, so go ahead and take a luck point.
Oh no.
But you did not fail by a tremendous amount. I think there's a beat as the kobolds on either side of the door start to... What in the grand worm? You all have a moment to potentially do something about this.
Can I push the John Johnson closer to them so that his music is like a lullaby?
Oh, yes. Yes.
That lo-fi evening beat that he's got going on right now. I just
Yes.
shove him also an excuse to shove him. So I'm very happy about it.
Absolutely. What am I going to have you roll? Go ahead and roll me just a performance check, I think.
Okay, I'm not too bad at performance.
Yeah.
Come on. Ooh, a 19.
Yeah,
Nice.
no problem. No problem. You haul John Johnson up to the front of the crowd. What do you want from me? And the music lulls them both back to sleep.
And I think we...
The doors open,
A collective sigh.
and you can all make your way forward. The area that lies in front of you is a collection of workbenches. Many of them have these big hydraulic hammers that have been disengaged for the evening, but you see that they are sort of rigged up into the ceiling space attached to the big water wheel that sort of turns this whole space that the waterfall is attached to. There is only one way forward here. It is just straight until you reach the crucible, sort of that big vat of molten metal and lava. You see that there are lots of kobolds who have fallen asleep at their desks. You see that some of them have fully laid out blankets to sleep on these tables. A lot of them are sort of underneath. Half-made bombs are everywhere. There are crates of them on every table. There's weapons and stuff that they're also kind of working on. You see that they're really trying to figure out guns, and it doesn't seem like any of them have figured out guns yet. But they have figured out hammers and daggers and stuff. And there are a couple of mine carts that are being repaired in this space as well.
I can try survival as Odion tries to figure out the best route without waking up any of the kobolds in the vicinity. Ooh, dirty 20.
Nice.
Oh, nice. That's
Very good. On a dirty 20, your brain organizes every layer of this battlefield into a perfect topological map. Here, high point here, across this table, there. Do not get under that particular hammer. That's got a weak rope. Swing around, and we should get there. You are going to grant, I'm going to say out of 20, a solid +5 to whoever makes the next roll. But I do think that's going to need to be the execution. So that could be Cal, Flo, or Weevil. We're talking acrobatics, stealth.
I could do my acrobatics. I've got a +3 for that. If no one
So
else
that becomes
anything.
a +8.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go for that. That sounds
Yeah?
good.
Okay. All right, I will do
All right.
the roll.
I trust it.
Come on.
Just grudge walk across.
Okay. That was an 11. So +3 is the 14, +5 is 19.
A 19 gets you past the workbenches and the kobolds. A 19 is not quite good enough to get you fully past the oncoming troll patrol.
Damn it.
So
Patrol.
you make it to the crucible. You are now standing kind of up alongside this incredibly hot vat of molten whatever the fuck. There are two paths that you can go. There's a little corridor, we'll say off to the right of the crucible. You do not know where it leads. And then you could take a left at the crucible, and that moves into the storage space that Adolin was talking about earlier. And the trolls are moving toward your position from the storage space.
All right, as we see them coming around the corner, I'm going to be like, all right, everybody, go squeeze into that corner as much as you can of the room right now. Just go.
All right. That's my foot.
Shh. And as we do, I will I'll touch the ground very lightly, and all of these little mycelia will sort of spread out, and there will just these little almost spores will come out of them, and it will settle into the shape of half of a bomb and a big crate, and it will just fill 10 feet of space with basically just a big pile of junk that we could all hopefully hide inside of and behind.
You want deception here?
I mean, if I could use Arcana, it's a +11.
I like the idea of using Arcana. That is very fun. I am going to roll for this, and we're going to start there. Okay. That is a 22 that you're going to have to beat.
Cal's gonna touch Weevil's shoulder. Don't fuck this up for us. and that casts guidance.
Oh, shit!
Best guidance ever.
I was like, brutal.
Don't
Oh, wait.
fuck this up.
Oh, we'll take this.
When
Actually-
Cal does that, I think that she feels like in his shoulder, sort of that nervousness of the fact that he is sort of still just like a really young kid and still sort of figuring it out. He's like, and I shall
Shaky
roll.
breathing.
Give me the D4 first. Give me the D4 first.
D4 is a 3.
Okay, so we're looking at a 19. You got to beat a 19 with this roll. You get a plus 11 from Arcana, which means you have to roll at least an 8.
Big money, no whammies. That is a natural 20.
Yeah!
So if we are doing the math, that's a total of 34.
I think
Boom.
we're good. I think we're good.
Who are we? I don't even recognize us now.
Who are we?
You guys
Must have been the wind.
see these trolls sort of creep up, and one with that sort of big kind of orangutan flange is like hovering over Weevil as you all collectively hold your breath. And then the other one starts making some noise, and he turns and trundles off, and you see them both have gotten into one of the bags of one of the sleeping kobolds, and they found just like a stash of cookies, and they're just fucking going to town on those
I
cookies.
knew there would be food around here somewhere.
What kind of cookies we talking, Pat?
Yeah.
Snickerdoodle.
Oh,
Oh, we missed Snickerdoodle cookies.
That's upsetting.
Nicholas just watches from Cal's shoulder with absolute disappointment.
One single tear.
Yeah.
Little birds.
You guys can go back. You can always go back.
No.
I'm more of a Thin Mint kind of guy myself.
You're in-
Yeah, that
That's what
tracks.
those are
That
like.
tracks. That tracks. Weevil would be a Thin Mint guy. So you guys still do have a decision as to which path you're going to be taking, because now the trolls have fully moved into the work area and are like past you. You could go down the tunnel to the right. You're not sure where that goes, or you could move into the storage facility to the left.
Could we all just get in a box and like go into the storage area like that? Like,
I would allow you to roll a deception check to be the next roll.
we all just crawling in
seen
boxes.
Is that what we're doing? Are we rolling that
I
deception
mean, I
check?
don't know. That's an idea. If
I
anyone-
love
I think it's a great idea.
But we're
I say
going
yes.
into
Let's
the
move
storage,
forward
right?
with it.
We're doing
in our
Yeah,
box.
storage,
Yeah,
storage,
yeah.
storage. Cool.
I think it's
Yeah.
a great idea.
I think there's probably a combination, some big boxes of a couple people, some small
Yeah.
boxes of individuals. I think we were just like,
There's a little floating box with the bird.
Just flying by.
What do you got?
all right, hang on. Ooh, I love it. 19 again, wild. So I rolled a 13 plus
Okay.
6 for deception.
Nice.
Getting 19s.
Do you want to spend any luck, or are you going to leave that at a 19?
Actually, I have 1 luck, so I'll put it up to a dirty 20.
Okay. You are going to give the next roll a plus 10.
Ooh.
It has to be a stealth roll.
Okay, that's fair. We've avoided stealth so far.
However,
Yes.
there's a relevant ability. I am quoting from the John Johnson's stat block, which I wrote 6 calendar months ago.
Yeah, he makes it's a disadvantage.
I
It's
remember
Passive
you
ability.
saying this one.
Theme song guy. Heroic theme music can always be heard within a 100-foot radius centered on Johnson. Anyone within this radius takes a -10 penalty to stealth checks.
Are you sure we can't separate from them?
Should I do it again? I'm happy to roll again.
Yeah.
That's what everyone wants.
All right, we're going to do a stealth check.
cantrip, so if you know, like, keep
put
it
guidance back
going.
on. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna roll on my end collectively for what you're trying to sort of hit here. I am going to give them disadvantage for sleeping. Okay, that makes a very big difference.
good.
You have to beat a 13. So let's go ahead and roll that d4.
Oh my God, what did they roll the first?
1 on the guidance,
Okay, so you have to beat a 12. You get a +0 to this,
plus 2.
+2 to this. So you got to roll at
okay.
least a 10 before we factor in luck.
I can't watch.
Please be good. Please be good.
You rolled a 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Unbalanced Encounters, the only show where the dice are paid actors.
We were doing so well.
We got so far.
So
It was
that's
gonna happen. It was gonna
It's a
happen.
total
Fine.
of
Fine.
5.
Is this the part where we can say, are we in separate boxes and his does not impact everybody else?
I was rolling for the team. Fuck off.
Leave him to die. It's fine.
Just let him go. The weakest link.
I don't have to outrun outrun the bear.
Just gonna outrun Weevil.
You all make your way into the storage facility and carefully tiptoe over piles of black powder and crates of provisions and at least one small barrel full of gold. And Cinder, I'm going to ask you on a 5, what goes wrong?
As we are making our way, trying to navigate this space, I think John Johnson sees the little barrel of gold.
Oh.
And I think he leans down to pick it up, and he trips over his box, and he knocks the thing of gold over as he falls down, spilling the gold, making a lot of little noises as it tumbles out.
All of the kobolds begin to stir. You all tense for a moment as you see kobolds begin to sort of rise and a ruckus begin to sort of swell. And you hear in your heads Adolin say, "Change of plans. I'm open to ideas."
Run.
Run?
Run.
Yep. I think Flo's already like,
Just gone.
Now we can get that athletics roll from Odion.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's your
Go ahead and
moment
give me
to
the dead sprint.
shine.
Okay, that is going to be a 16. I'll use my 2 luck to bump it up to an 18.
Okay. On an 18, 2 people are going to fall behind. I'm going to let you pick one.
Does that have to be from my part?
100%. Dump one of the others.
No, it does not.
Okay, I feel like Thalk can handle herself.
And I think why Thalk sort of gets left behind is because John Johnson is struggling to get to his feet and like fall back into line. And she hangs back, throws the box off, picks him up. Oh, God damn it, you stupid son of a bitch. Get up! Ugh. Fuck. God damn it. And she pulls 2 hatchets out. Okay, all right. And looks like she is going to have to fight her way through some of these kobolds. The rest of you, throw off your boxes and dead sprint for the chairwoman's office. Who's first in the door?
Odion.
for it.
Odion.
Yeah.
Odion is literally just going to get there first.
Yeah.
None of us can run as fast
Wow,
as
what
him.
a leader, leaving the rest of us behind.
Odion, your shoulder goes into the door and you crush it in with one blow, and you stumble into the chairwoman's office, and you see that she is asleep on her desk, curled up like a cat.
Oh,
And she,
buddy.
what is going on?
Poor dearie.
What? You're not supposed to be here.
Correct.
You're not
And
supposed to be
he's just
here.
gonna clock her. Actually, no, he'll try to hold her down, just straight up put her back to sleep.
Listen, I love this for you, best husband. We're going to somebody else. Somebody
Absolutely.
else has to roll. Who hasn't rolled? I think Flo is up and Cal.
Yeah.
One of the two of you is going to be first in this room behind Odion and can deal with the chairwoman if you are so inclined.
Let's try this furious again. We're running 20 feet, all right? She doesn't have her Warhammer on her because Odion's carrying it just in case. She's just... This is not even purposeful, just accidental, running as fast as she can and just stumbles in and just body slams into this poor kobold that was slain.
Is this like a feature that you have?
Yeah, this is part of the lineage, yeah. You've learned to press every advantage and hammer into enemies every time you move 20 feet in a straight line toward a creature and hit it. With a melee weapon or unarmed strike, the attack gains your choice of 2 of the following benefits. The attack deals additional damage of your weapon's damage type equal to your PvE. If the target is one size larger than you or smaller, it is pushed back 10 feet directly away from you. The target must succeed a strength saving or be knocked prone.
Which of these are you trying to do? And please go ahead and roll me this attack.
We are going to go prone on this, so it's going to have to succeed a strength save.
Okay. I'm gonna tell y'all right now for free. Strength ain't these kobolds strong suit.
Perfect. This is what I needed to hear.
Did you hit the attack? What's the attack?
12?
You barrel into the chairwoman and you send her reeling back against the far wall. Papers helter-skelter
Yeah.
fluttering to the ground.
As immediate
and-
reaction, Cal goes, sorry, and then sees it's a kobold, not sorry, and then keeps going.
And you all start to pour in. Can I get from Flo
Yes.
a relevant skill for getting this this bookshelf sort of out of the way. Athletics would work. I would also give you potentially sleight of hand or investigation.
Oh my goodness. No, that's a 5. What? She's just like throwing books off the shelf, trying to find the
Trying to find the lever.
Go ahead and take a point of luck. You all now have a throng of kobolds at your back.
Shit.
As you push your way into this small office.
Do any of the books hit the kobolds?
Not in a meaningful way. Definitely a lot of them do, but the kobolds just like, boom, and then get right back into it. I want to be clear. What this means, what this has changed, is that you're now going to have to figure out how to close up behind you if this is indeed an exit.
Yeah, right.
All right, who's next up? I think Weevil is probably the next best to be at this bookshelf. Does that seem right?
Okay, I've read a lot of these. You always got to look for the one that looks like it's got a weird pun or something to do with something. They're never just a normal book. It's always like something special or it stands out a little bit.
Speed read, Weevil!
That's really good. 18 plus
Yes.
7, 25.
You see 2 books that are titled The Lever and Wrong Lever.
Damn it.
Flo, read.
I don't have time to read. She's like,
Just throwing books.
I'm going to pull the one that says The Lever.
Okay. The bookshelf swings in and reveals a ladder going straight down.
All right, everybody, go.
Geronimo! And she's gonna do the way you kind of like hands on and feet on and just sort of.
Does anybody have thoughts that once we're through, would it be a good way to close things up if we do wrong lever after that?
That was my plan.
Okay.
Yes.
As everybody leaves, I would be the
That's
last one
genius.
and pull that one.
Is that what we're doing? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
It's so
Okay.
funny. We all had the same exact
I
thought.
was like, "Oh, can we?"
Incredible. Fantastic. So, here's the thing. Everybody gets in, everybody gets down. Odion, you are the last person at the bookshelf as Adolin and the gnomish woman, who I'm gonna fucking just give you because you know who this person is, Zikilo, your former healer. Thank you very much, Cloaked Carp. For the
Hey, thank you.
Anyway, Adolin and Zikilo zip past you and slide down. And just as you're about to sort of, reach in to figure out how to grab for this book, you hear, "Hold the door! Hold the door, Odion!" And John Johnson and Thalk slam into this room and use you as leverage to throw themselves down this ladder. And you are the last person standing in this room. I'm gonna need you to tell me sort of what skill you're using to ensure that you can pull this lever and get in behind this bookshelf down this ladder sort of all in one motion.
Trying to find something besides athletics for that. Maybe acrobatics? Ooh, natural 19 for a dirty 20.
Yes.
The kobolds are descending upon your position. The trolls are at the door, ripping at the wood, gnashing their massive simian fangs. The chairwoman scampers to her feet, holds herself up on the edge of the desk, points a bony claw in your direction, and you grab Wrong Lever, the book titled Wrong Lever, use it to drop down this tunnel, let go, grab a hold of the outer leg of this ladder, and just slide down. And Wrong Lever clicks back into place. And you hear explosions.
As they're all looking at Odion as he's the last one in, he just goes, "Wait!" The Great Worm sends its regards.
next time on Unbalanced Encounters.
All according to plan.
Y'all, the Kobold Defense League has been bested by a book titled The Wrong Lever. Explosions ensued, and we find ourselves in some sort of bizarre bayou mansion, chock-a-block full of gold, spells, loot. Weevil has a crazy prophecy thing. Flo has a crazy, portentous feeling in the gun. Everyone is fighting everyone for the entire fucking time, and we find out who owns the gold. Who has been orchestrating all of these people to be in the place? Who has been playing whom against whom and for what reason? And it all is falling down. And in the final moments, we discover the thing that could end it all. And that thing is... The Misfortunate Four is an Unbalanced Encounters production. This episode's showrunner and GM was me, Patrick Perini. Cal of Ironwater was played by Caustic Phoenix. Arianna Floridia Osprey II was played by Emily Graymore. Odion Osprey-Heronshaw was played by Craig Pate. Weevil Woebringer was played by Cinderblock Sally. And midroll announcer Ferrin Whel was voiced by Cleo Birch. This episode was produced by Sabrina Ortiz. Its Lorekeeper was Nick Plaisance. Scripted segments by Patrick Perini and Colin Epstein. Game design consultation by Mason Allen. And original music by Sayer Roberts. For the rest of the Misfortunate Four and other delightful shows, visit unbalancedencounters.com or search for Unbalanced Encounters wherever pods are casted.
Okay, we love you. Bye.